everyone, Amanda here, thanks for joining me. So we're here again with another napkin journal, a week soon gone by. I'm going to be doing one of these every Sunday. So it's the handmade journal insert. I've got a video, if you'd like to see that, I will add it as a suggested video at the end of this one, and also the previous page that I did. And I will also add them to a playlist. So we're gessoing the pages and drying that off first of all. I've been very inspired this week by another art journal lady. I'm not sure of her name yet because she's quite new to me, but her channel is called Art Journal Stories. I've got it up at the side of me so I didn't forget. So I've been very inspired by her, and from watching one that she did, I found an Etsy seller called Alina Zinske Art. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below for that Etsy shop because as you'll see shortly when we get to it, it's where my main focal point has come from. So I'm using two different kind of napkins here to give myself a nice background, and I want them to go kind of around each corner, as it were, so one to the top left and one to the bottom right, to kind of frame the page. And I've ripped, just randomly ripped through the middle because I just want it to be really random and not have any straight lines, not really having thought about it, and just end up with what I end up with. And again, I at the moment I'm using Liquitex gel medium for all my collage work. So that's the blue one, and then we're going to add the green, and as you can see it'll just leave me the centre kind of free, which is where I will be putting my focal point. Now I love journaling, napkin journals, mixed media, everything, but I cannot draw. Okay, I'm going to try, and I'm going to try and learn how to draw, but I can't at the moment. And so I've purchased a digital art drawing from the Alina Zinske Art Etsy shop, which you will see in a moment. Now you will see that I did rip the napkin there just at the bottom near the centre. It doesn't matter if it rips, I just peeled another piece and glued it over the top, just lightly sanding to get the excess off the edges, and to just make sure I don't have any straight edges around my middle part, which is going to be my focal point. Just apologise in advance for my coughing today. I've got I think I've got allergies, to be honest. It's lovely weather here in the UK, and I think it's just sparking off an itchy nose and an itchy throat, so I do apologise. So when you purchase the digitals, look at how much fun it is. So I picked this one because, and you're not going to believe it, the name of this doodle girl here, I call this kind of thing a doodle girl. It's called Amanda. So straight away I thought, yes, I'm having that, and it's just so much fun. And when you buy them, you can buy in the file there was one that was coloured and one that was black and white, so you can colour them yourself if you're good at using pro markers and things like that. But if you're not, then she does give you one that's already coloured in, so that's a bonus. So anybody can have a go at this. All you need to do is cut it out. You know, it doesn't get any easier. Anybody can have a go at this, at art journaling, at napkin journals, having a go, because you know you can. If you can't draw and you're not that way inclined, there's somebody out there that can, and you can help them in their creativity by supporting them in their Etsy shops. And you know, you're still making your own artwork by how you put it together and how you create your page, so it's perfect. So I've got this big page of big funky whimsical flowers here. Cutting quite a few out. I end up cutting out a lot more. I should have really thought on before I started the video and cut the whole page out, but you know, I didn't know I was going to need as many as I did, and decided to really fill the page with these fantastic flower designs because they're such fun. I'm just gluing them on. I've printed them on standard copy of paper, well, not standard, 120 GSM copy of paper, so that it's a little bit heavier, so that when I use the gel medium, I don't end up with a soggy mess. I think if you use lighter weight copy paper, it might end up a little bit mushy, and I think that the colours of your printing would be more susceptible to run. You know, the colours run when you wet them. Because I've just got a standard inkjet printer, it's not a laserjet one, and none of the colours run because I was super careful and I try not to oversaturate with the gel medium. So fussy cutting them is so easy, because if you you don't have to be brilliant at fussy cutting because they're kind of whimsical. It doesn't matter if you don't cut them out perfect, you know, and on point and right on the black line. You just cut them as you can. You can always go around and re-emphasise the edges at a later date with a pen, which is what I'm going to do later on in the video. So I will tell you that this napkin page took me around an hour to create, which is why I've fast forwarded it by 4. Otherwise you would be very bored watching me cutting out flowers, etc., and making my mind up of what I'm doing. I'm still very new to journaling, art journaling, and so I'm not one of those that can do one in like 10 or 15 minutes. Because I'm not that skilled yet, but as I learn and as I get better and as I learn more techniques, and I am learning, I'm learning definitely what not to do, which is always a good start. And as I get better, I'm sure I'll be able to do the videos in real time and not fast forward them. But for now, you're going to have to get them sped up. But I could be playing naff music. I decided that I'd rather do a talk over, and then I can tell you what I'm doing. So here is a little earring which I'm gluing on separately. It was part of the image. Now I love fussy cutting and I'm not bad at it, but I couldn't have cut that out. So I snipped it off and decided that I would glue it on separately. So I'm just really lightly going over the top of this image now with the gel medium, and it does pull some of the colour. And so what I do is I wipe my brush on some tissue in between, because it'll pull the black colour out, because it's only an inkjet printer that I've got. But if you be careful, you won't end up with it taking too much colour and it ruining the images. You've just got to be quick and be sparing with it. And drying it off, make sure it's fully dry. I end up having to go back and dry certain areas a little bit more, because they weren't fully dry, and I want to outline all of the images there with a black pen to make them stand out again. And if the surface is not fully dry, then your pens won't work. So in this bit here, there's just small parts of the white paper that I couldn't fussy cut, and I'm not safe with a craft knife, so I couldn't cut them out with a craft knife. So I'm just painting them with the same colour paint that I've just smooshed the background with, which is just a very basic peachy colour. So these are Uniball pin pens, or Unipin, I can't remember the name of them, but they're permanent, so they won't, colours won't run and things don't interfere with each other and draw colours out of other things. And I'm just using it to outline the flowers to make them stand out again. I've got 2 different thicknesses, one's a 10 and one's an 8, so I'm using the thicker one to outline. As you can see there, I'm going back and re-drying in the corners because it's still damp and my pen's not working. There we go, so I've got it working again now. And I love that, it makes the flowers really stand out again. It's one of those processes that it might be a bit dull to watch, but I'm not cutting it out, as I'll be editing all day long. And it's Easter Sunday, I'm not editing all day. Oh dear. So what was that journal lady called? I've got her up on the screen. Art Journal Stories. I'll leave a link to her in my description box below. So I've watched nearly all of her videos. She's fabulous, and I've got some really good ideas from her. You know, and it's always good to learn from somebody that kind of knows what they're doing a bit more than you do. I'm always open to learning ideas from other creators and, you know, taking note of the advice that they give, because it saves you learning everything the hard way, which I typically do, but I have learned a lot from her and another lady whose name escapes me. But next time I do a video, I will write it down. So I'm not going all the way around the main image there of the Amanda sat meditating. Now she does come when you print her out. She's got a big yoga mat. She's sat on a big blue yoga mat. I decided to cut that out because it was covering over most of the napkin, and I wanted to still see the napkins. So this white, I think it's a Pilot Broad. I think it's Pilot. It is a brilliant, brilliant white pen. It's the best one that I've used so far. Yeah, I'm really impressed with that one, and it stays nice and white as well. It's cool. I must remember to write the names of things down. I'll put it in the description box below if I remember. So now I've decided I want to do a border, and I'm using my Sharpie. I need to invest in a better black marker. This one's drying out, and it wasn't brilliant for covering over the napkin areas. It was a little bit patchy, but you know, I managed to do it, and I got the effect that I wanted. So I just wanted to put a bit of a border. It helps draw the eye to the middle, to the focal points, if you put a border on stuff. And then after watching Art Journal Stories, she did a border very similar to this on her design that she did using Elena Azinski art images. It was a different one that she picked. And she did a similar border and then did polka dots on it. And as I was thinking, I remembered that that's what she'd done, and so that's kind of what I did as well. I thought I would try it with my white pen. So my border's not exactly the same as hers, but it is inspired by her. So this pen really is fabulous. I really can't sing its praises enough. In fact, it wasn't even very expensive either. So I think the next time I go to my local art shop, I will be getting another one of these to make sure that I've always got one in case one runs out or stops working. You just need to be careful sometimes with pens, because I find that when you're using gel mediums and things, if they're not dry or you're using napkins, it can clog up the nib of your pens and make them stop working. So here I'm just doing little dots, little tiny dots, just to fill in that border. I didn't like all that black with my nice bright vibrant colours of my images, so I'm just toning that black down a little bit by doing some dotting. But that it's just so relaxing. I sat, as I say, it took me over an hour to do this, but I really enjoyed it, and I think that I've been a bit over anxious about art journaling because I can't draw images like this. But then if you look on Etsy, there's so many talented ladies and gents selling their artwork with the intention of you using it in your art journals, so why not? So I was going to handwrite the word relax on there, and then I decided that my writing is rubbish, and so I found some stamps instead, and I'm just fussy cutting those. And it says just dream girl. So yeah, bit of a statement. But I really had fun with this little digital girl and the flowers. and it made my journaling really fun today and a really fun experience. So I hope you've enjoyed what I've come up with. Check the links in the description box below. Bye for now.